Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys my top tips and my biggest mistakes when I was learning how to do toes to bar, and this is for anyone who is learning from scratch how to do kipping toes to bar or how to do any toes to bar. Now don't forget that if you do enjoy any CrossFit or weightlifting content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as give this video a big thumbs up, as it really supports my channel, and I love seeing all of you wonderful people here. And also it's good mood you, so you'll go and have a great session after you hit the subscribe button, after you hit the like button. Who doesn't want good mood you? Now I would just like to say before I start this video that I am no expert in CrossFit. I have only recently just started doing these movements and practicing these movements. So I just wanted to make this video as to share my common mistakes and what helped me get to where I am now, as opposed to here are my top tips for becoming a toes to bar kipping expert, because that's not what I am. Just as a disclaimer, just so you guys know. So here is how I went from this to this. And my biggest mistakes to avoid so that you can get the best kipping toes to bar you have ever done in your life. In your whole life. Life, L-Y-F. Now first and foremost, it's not crucial, but it is pretty important and very helpful if you already have some strength in doing strict toes to bar with straight legs. This foundation and this strength will basically help you build reps that you can do while doing the kipping toes to bar, and also help you understand the movement of getting your toes up to the bar, as it is quite a finicky, if you will, movement. Finicky. And also the kipping does only help you so much, so if you do already have that foundational strength of doing the strict toes to bar, it will help you so much in building the confidence and the ability to do the kipping toes to bar. However, don't worry if you are one of the people who can't do strict toes to bar yet. Here are some really easy exercises that you can do in order to build that up. So first and foremost, you can just start by hanging and doing simple knee raises and lifting your knees all the way to your chest. Once you find that that is pretty easy, you can then start doing it with straight legs, just lifting it halfway up until you form a L shape, and keep doing that until you master that. Then after that, you can just slowly build up to bringing your toes all the way to the bar, and then you've got yourself a strict toes to bar. It is all about core strength, so just doing any kind of strength for your core accessories such as GHDs, planks, anything like that will automatically help you get a strict toes to bar. When I was learning how to do it, I did all of the exercises hanging from the bar, but I also did a lot of core strength on the side, such as a lot of GHDs, a lot of weighted planks, a lot of isometric holds, and that all contributed to my strength whilst building my toes to bar movement. Okay, so let's just talk about the toes to bar. So these are basically my biggest mistakes that I made whilst learning how to do toes to bar, and what I kind of tried to fix as quickly as possible to make sure that I could get good consistent sets of toes to bar. So the biggest inhibitor, pretty big word for me, will be your confidence and your ability in your kip. Now I don't mean a nap. Was it just my mum who says that? I mean the ability to kip, so to move from a hollow position into an extended position repeatedly. It's basically an in-control swing. So you want to be able to swing on a bar whilst looking like you're not in control, but you are completely in control of your whole body. There are lots of videos of people saying that you can practice this on the floor, as I will show you guys here, basically to kind of give you an idea of what the movement should feel like and should look like. However, I think the best thing to do is to just get straight onto hanging onto the bar and figure it out there. You basically want to push yourself against the bar with your hands and create a hollow position by holding all of the tension in your core to make sure that you get that perfect banana-y shaped hollow position. So a great way to kind of build that up is just to do the basic kip movement a few times. Me and Ross kind of built our way into it, so we would do 5 kipping movements to kind of get an idea of what it's supposed to feel like, and then try and do 3 or 4 consistent toes to bar. One of the key things that we did is try to start with small sets and build week on week. So you don't want to try and just go in with a set of 10. If week on week you can start by doing 2, then 3, then 4, you'll find that your strength and your ability and your confidence within those movements will help a lot, and then you'll be able to sort of build on that and get to bigger sets and bigger reps. One of the biggest mistakes that I made, yet probably one of the easiest ones to fix, is that I used to have my feet apart quite a lot. So I would swing back and forth and my feet would just be dangling all over the place willy-nilly. And I was kind of sort of just hope and pray that both my feet would touch the bar at the same time so that I could get a good rep. However, what I didn't realize is that this is a very active movement. So you want to actively bring your feet together and actively push your feet together towards the bar to make sure that they touch the bar at exactly the same time to be as efficient as possible. What you want to avoid is having your feet just sort of dangling wherever, because it just creates like momentum in places that you don't want, when all you want to create is like an easy swing back and forth, controlled, feet together, touching the bar and then going back down. If you have practiced your kipping and if you have got your kipping like pretty screwed on tight and pretty good, that's definitely not an expression, but hey ho, you will find that this is sort of comes naturally to you, but it's just something to kind of have in the back of your mind. As I was building like bigger sets, I found that my feet would very often like sort of come apart because I was tired, which obviously is natural, but you do kind of want to avoid that because it does just then make it even harder for you when it comes to doing more sets and more reps. Whilst we're talking about what your feet do, another great point that I kind of didn't realize is that it's not really like an aimless swing, especially when you're learning how to kip. You want to remember that you want to actively bring your feet forwards and then actively push your feet back, because you need that momentum from both sides to be able to get the forceful swing that you need in order for it not to be too muscularly tiring, and to use the propulsion that you'll have whilst doing the toaster bar to make it as easy as possible. So just remember that you want to actively bring your feet towards the bar and then just as actively pull your feet back. Another key thing when you realize is that, as I just mentioned, you want to make sure that your head is getting through every single time. Leaving your head back will stop that momentum from building and will make it harder for you to build on those sets. So something really important to notice is that when your feet come back, you want to push that head through. When your feet comes forwards, you want to actively push that head back. So just make sure that you're getting your head away and then back through to make it as easy as possible for you to continue through that kipping movement. And finally, the last thing that I learned whilst trying to do kipping toaster bar is that on a lot of the videos, they do recommend that you have like an underhand grip. So your thumb is underneath and like the bar is here and you're like gripping like that. I tried that for quite a few rounds and like sessions, and honestly I couldn't get on board with it. I completely understand that it's a safety thing, so by gripping like this you have like another way to like attach you onto the bar as opposed to just holding it like that. So I do understand that for safety reasons it's super important to have that, but I found it really difficult, and I found that it actually like tired my grip a lot more and made it really difficult to kind of grip the bar for a prolonged period of time. So I ditched that. I know safety is not good, but just felt like it was more comfortable for me, and a lot of this is finding out that your movement pattern won't be the same to somebody else's, and that what works for you might not work for somebody else. So just trying to find the key thing that works for you and doing exactly that. The final key issue that I have had with toaster bar is the grips that I have used. Now I'll be making a full separate video about that, so make sure to subscribe to my channel as well as give this video a big thumbs up if you would like to see that, about the recommendations of the grips that I have used and the ones that I also used that were really awful, but I'm going to share with you guys anyways, just so that you can kind of avoid buying and spending £50 on some grips that are like basically useless. I hope that all of the toaster bar mistakes I made help you piece your toaster bar together, and that some of these tips kind of resonate and make sense with you a little bit more. I kind of try to binge watch loads of YouTube videos about how to help me achieve these things and kind of like pick what works for me and then sort of like reiterate that, but in a way that makes more sense to my brain, hoping that it kind of makes sense to somebody else's brain out there. So I hope you guys found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.